industrial or professional activities. Business should bring money. It should definitely yield profits. I've had conversations with countless people in the startup space who were not working in line with what they studied in school, but because something else paid the bill, they stuck with it. It became their business. So that means that the minute you find yourself in a space doing something that brings money, you're a businessman. And the more money it brings, well, the more successful people say you are. If you break even or even make profits, then you are a good businessman. And so I want to ask very important questions this morning. Is terrorism a business in Nigeria? Because we've seen a pattern where it seems like it's really paying. I studied a report over the weekend that stated that millions of dollars had been spent in that sector. Not in equipping the army, not in funding security, but it has exchanged hands for the business of terrorism. Of course, the latest is on February 16, barely 9 days after the abduction in Niger State. 317 girls were abducted from a government girls' secondary school in Jangebe area of northwestern Zamfara State. Gunmen in Nigeria's northwestern Niger State attacked a government school, reportedly abducting hundreds of students and teachers and killing one student. Nigeria is among the states in Nigeria's northwest and north-central regions plagued with security challenges from gangs of bandits pillaging, extorting, and kidnapping for ransom in mostly rural areas. If you are Nigerian, you must agree that this business has been successful. Now let's take a timeline of how big this business has been for as long as we can remember. It's been reported that in 7 years, 1,157 students have been kidnapped. This does not cover the entire scope of persons kidnapped, but students. In April of 2014, 276 at Government Girls Secondary School, Chibok, Borno State. Now, I maybe wouldn't have known the name Chibok, but thanks to Boko Haram, that place has become popular for the wrong reasons. In February of 2018, 113 were kidnapped at Government Girls Secondary School and Technical College, Dapchi, Yobe State. In December of 2020, 344 at Government Science School, Kankara, Katsina State. In December of 2020, 80 at Islamia School's Mahuta Town in Katsina. In February of 2021, 27 at the Science College, Kagara, Niger State. And of course, the most recent, 317 at Government Girls Secondary School, Jangebe, Zamfara State. So if you think about it, this is a big business. Or should I be asking, is it a big business? We'll get to find out shortly. Our guest is a security expert. He will join us to tell us whether or not it's a business, whether or not it's a successful venture, and whether or not we might come to the end of this. Because again, if it is successful as a business, well, you can only imagine how hard it will be to pull it off. So it's Morning Crossfire. Don't go anywhere. Is terrorism a business? That's our focus this morning.
The Morning Crossfire.
Right, welcome back. My guest is Adekoya Onyekachi. He's a security expert and he joins me via phone this morning. Good morning, Mr. Onyekachi.
Good morning, Dr.
Thank you very much for joining us. All right.
Thank you for having me.
That was a pleasure. Now, I was talking before, we connected, whether or not terrorism has become a business. And I ask you the same question. Has it become a business, or are the ransoms paid just a means to an end? What do you think it is right now?
Firstly, let's start with the facts and what we know. Facts are that persons have been kidnapped, and after some form of arrangement, they have been released. Facts. Based on the reports we're getting, there's no government in Nigeria that has openly conceded to paying a ransom. However, these matters are like sugar and ants. Somebody once said to me, if you don't raise doors, people will not raise eyebrows. And if you don't put sugar in a place, you don't have fast hands. But the repeated cases we are seeing would suggest that there is an incentive for this person to continue the act of kidnapping. Now, if you say it has become a business, if terrorism has become a business, my answer will be yes. That doesn't need any beating about the bush. I've always said that at the heart of these issues that we are having is economic interest. This whole cloak of religion, ethnicity, is just a facade. You have organized armed groups that are sometimes a part of a transnational criminal network. And this transnational criminal network is very well entrenched in the Sahel region. So if you're looking from Eritrea to Ethiopia, that belt has a massive network of criminals. And every state, and state by state and in country that borders that region suffers from one level of armed banditry or insurgency or the other, whether you look at Mali or Nigeria or Niger or Chad or Cameroon. And so this is a criminal enterprise. People are involved in business, as it were. They hold territory, they collect tax, they weaponize religion, they hold communities hostage, and business continues as usual. Unfortunately, over the last 10 years, we have treated this issue with kid gloves, and perhaps as a result of ignorance on the part of the political class. Some other times also, out of selfish gain, you have armed criminal groups sold up in different open spaces. They use them to win elections. After elections, those people are left to spend for themselves until after 4 years. So within the period of an election cycle, the next election cycle, criminals have to spend. So again, yes, it is a business. Importantly, it is a business that is aided, sometimes usually by the political class, for political expedience. So you cannot divorce politics, economics, selfish interest from the things we see today. It has nothing to do with religion or ethnicity, if you analyze it carefully.
All right. Now, if the ransoms have been the answer to these questions, and even though you said no government has openly admitted, does that reflect our capacity? Does that show that we are unable to tackle this as we are supposed to, which is matching fire for fire?
I think that would be a natural consequence of things, really. If you listen carefully to the defense minister, when he openly advised Nigerians to defend themselves, we speak against persons with AK-47 or AK-49 or M21, charging Nigerians for not being courageous, in his words, suggesting that these insurgents, bandits, terrorists, sometimes only carry play around. It makes a bit of a fair idea. But then, if the apparatus of state are doing their jobs as they should, we shouldn't be having this kidnapping today. In the Jangebe incident, it is reported that a military post is about 100 to 200 meters from the place of the incident. So, clearly, if our current security setup is working, we shouldn't be having issues in Osun, in Edo, in Imo, in Enugu, in Port Harcourt. If you let me go, I probably mentioned the whole 36 states, plus the FCT. Within the remote communities in the FCT, we are beginning to see some reports of kidnap for ransom going on. And the FCT command had to put out a notice to reassure residents of their safety, to say that the command is on top of the incident. I think it was also the news of the press who said that the military is currently overstretched. The Minister of Police Affairs also came out and said the police is overstretched. Every governor in this country today acknowledges that we have one of peace, security or the other. So clearly, we are not properly postured to confront the issues of the 21st century in Nigeria. The pros of the past upon which we aggregated what national security structure to be under a militaristic principle can no longer sustain us. We are, by the UN standard, 220 million people. And one IGP sitting in Abuja cannot effectively police Nigeria. There is a state in Nigeria, I think it is for State or Nigeria, that is bigger than the entire UK. And in the UK, you have chain of command broken down even to counties. And we continue to assume that one man sitting in Abuja will not drop the ball in some local government in Bobo. You will not even be aware this morning that there's a communal class being in a private. The whole rural community. So
right.
We have definitely a problem, and we don't really have the capacity for the dynamics that we have currently ongoing in the country.
Now let's look the way of corruption. Several reports state that conflict entrepreneurs cannot thrive without the collaboration of the hierarchy of military leadership. They've stated it countless times. Do you agree with this, and do you think this reflects our situation in Nigeria?
Well, it's not whether I agree or I disagree, but you can look at facts again. In the case of Evans, it was clearly stated that he had connection with some members of government security forces. If you look at the case of Ghana also, before he was reportedly killed, there were also allegations. In fact, it was even bad that we lost some IRT officers because of a misunderstanding between the military and the police, where allegations were going back and forth. And in Nigeria today, if a state, for example, is plagued with unending crime, what the police high command will do is to send a crack team from the IGP's office to go into that state, conduct a surgical operation, and resolve the issues, because sometimes it will appear that the command structure within the state may have been compromised. Remember, policemen, government forces are within the community.
Yeah.
Within the community, they can be approached, sometimes also compromised. They also face their fair share of difficulties. So these are all human beings who are poorly paid, poorly motivated, poorly resourced, poorly tuned. And they live and die for what? For nothing. In the southeast today, I mean, I'm sure we are all aware that policemen are being killed and their weapons taken from them. Police stations are being sacked. It's becoming a recurring thing. Why are they being sacked? Certain persons with certain interests are now arming up. The AK-47, the black market, will cost anything between 500,000 to 1.5 million. A policeman who is paid less than 50,000 a month is carrying an asset worth 1.5 million. So they kill him, take his weapon. That's the father that is not coming back. Somebody's uncle will not come back. Somebody's mother will not come back. So they have their own fair issues. They fair allegations of connivance, collusion, even in high high kidnap cases that have been busted by the state security forces themselves. So it came up clear that we have some bad eggs among government security forces.
All right. Now, we have new service chiefs. Is that supposed to, be some form of fresh air? Should we expect something different from these new service chiefs? What's for?
I apologize for this. I do sincerely apologize. But the good book says that you can't put new wine in old sheepskin, because the old sheepskin will bust, basically. So I'm not sure what the new service chiefs are supposed to achieve that the old ones did not achieve. If we have not resolved the issues that incapacitated the first set of service chiefs, when people were calling for the sack of the service chief, nobody always asked a simple question. A simple question, sorry. Can you please sack a man who you have not given the tools that he needs to work and hold him responsibly accountable for delivering on a mandate when you have not told him? You cannot. The Nigerian Air Force suffered the loss of an aircraft. This country is over 40 years old. Go and look at our fleet of the aircraft. We ordered super Tucanos that are yet to arrive. The army is crying for stand-up munitions. They need close air support, close collaboration. But importantly, they need equipment. The MRAPs we procure, once they suffer battle damage in the field, how long does it take for those MRAPs to be restored to the field, repaired, or replaced? We have, 30, 40 battalions operating in the theater. How many A vehicles do they have? How many B vehicles do they have? And we say we should go and confront Boko Haram with courage, as the defense minister would suggest. And then we wonder why this has been that for 12 years, 11, 12 years. So, yes, they will be in the next term the breath of fresh air. But very soon, reality will set in. The reality is, we are suffering from a paucity of funds. We are prosecuting a war for over 12 years, which is costing us money. The National Security is requesting for an additional $1 billion to give the fight a boost in the arm. War is expensive. And let us not forget something. The military does not start wars. Politicians start wars. It is not the politicians that die. It is the military that dies. So when we talk across this country and talk with chiefs, are we giving our troops what they require at the front line to bring this nonsense to an end? We must also search our conscience and ask ourselves a very tough question. A country like Egypt has over 400,000 fighting men, military. Nigeria does not have that number. We should even have about 500,000 policemen. And it doesn't have to be all federal. We can have state police, federal police, even county police or state police under the command of the local government charge, so that we can take policing even to the remote community. But certain parochial sentiments have arrested our thinking in this country. So I don't see in the long term what significant impact the change in service chiefs would achieve if some of the narratives currently going on in the security structure is not changed, and if they don't have the equipment.
All right.
Morale will be high for the short term, then issues.
Mr. Onyekachi, I know you have to quickly get back to whatever you were doing. We appreciate your time. But finally, to completely end this menace of Boko Haram, what would you say are the short, medium, and long-term plans our country must deploy to win this war?
Well, I am a very strong optimist. I don't think we should have our hopes high anytime soon. The then Chief of Army Staff said we may not be able to address the issue of Boko Haram completely in the next 10 years, perhaps 20 years. I share with some of those sentiments, particularly if we continue with the way we are going. So, in the near term, there can be no near term, honestly. We need concerted, conscious, well thought out, bottom to top, revised approach to security. And then we can begin to hope that we'll ease out some of these people in the territories where they are is. So what must we begin to do differently? The answer is very simple. We must all look to the local government. No inch of the territory of Nigeria should be ceded to criminals. Because for criminals to thrive and operate, they need space and place. Once you deny them two important ingredients to thrive, space and place, the issues of insecurity will come down quickly and it will become localized. Then you can address it at that level. Not to the point where they are building cross-state networks. So let's look to the local government chairman. The local government chairman in the structure of Nigeria should be the chief security officer of their local government. But what we have in Nigeria to be, we elect a local government chairman, he leaves the local government, he goes to state capital. And make sure about the practice. So bottom to top, let's start from the local community. What engagements of security are going on? How are we conscientizing the community, the local chiefs? How are we organizing the people to deny criminal space? How do we assure the people that when they see something and say something, action will be taken at the local level? And then we begin to take a localized approach to addressing our national security problem. The local government challenge must stop abdicating their responsibility within the structure of Nigeria. Number two, the state governors cannot continue to cry that though they are chief security officers, they don't have the use of force. When some of them use force to win elections, by argument. If you can deploy force to win an election, can you not also mobilize your own people to protect life and property? If we have a truly sincere chief executive officer of the state who is hands-on, mindful on the issue of security, the people of the state will be mobilized. And to the best of his ability, some of these issues will be addressed if the proper approach is taken. Again, on the state governors, we have 36 state governors plus one SCP minister. The president is only one person. On this issue of state police, as with the issue of minimum wage, the insincerity of the governors will be brought to the floor. If the governors clearly and sincerely want state police, by now they must cast it out to the presidency and say, look, Mr. President, our states are burning and this is how we must do. But you see, what do we see? Governors who are shying away from minimum wage. Governors who employ vigilantes and pay them 10,000 a month or 20,000 a month. Governors who sit down in security votes and, you know, we are even asking for accounting. How do you account for those votes? So, ultimately, the politicians are the heart of our insecurity in Nigeria. Policies and insecurity. Have you noticed that on the eve of every league election, that insecurity tends to spike in Nigeria? 2023 is down the line. Conversations are going on. Governor Onyekachi said he said he will reduce those behind the kidnap of the Gengebe school children. That we all like to be shocked. And I'm asking you, I mean, get yourself and tell us the people behind it. So the politics of insecurity, And the politics of security is the problem of the political class. We are playing politics with the lives of people. Too dangerous.
All right, thank you very much,
So
Mr. Onyekachi. Yeah,
Thank you for the time.
I truly appreciate it. Okay, well, you heard it. There are lots of things to say. I'm certain you and I will have the opportunity of saying that after the break. Don't go anywhere.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
Yes, indeed, it still is the Morning Crossfire 92.3 Nigeria Info. My name is Sam Oracle Chinedu. We're talking about terrorism in Nigeria and whether or not it has become a business, but yet a profitable venture. Nigerian authorities have engaged the terror group Boko Haram for a better part of a decade or even more. After what appeared to be success around 2015-2016, we had the resurgence of Boko Haram violence in 2017. It, of course, worsened with the emergence of Islamic State in West Africa. And in more recent times, what we have now is banditry and kidnapped gangs all over northern Nigeria. Now, on February 26, barely 9 days after the abduction in Niger State, 317 girls were abducted from a government girls' secondary school in the Jangebe area of northwestern Zamfara State. Gunmen in Nigeria's northwestern Niger State attacked a government school, reportedly abducting hundreds of students and teachers and killing one student. Now, you might ask, why the attack on education? Well, it stays true to the title Boko Haram, which literally translates to Western education is abomination. So that might give an answer to why schools are being targeted. Now, my guest earlier, I was asking if terrorism is a business. He did agree, said it's profitable. And unfortunately, he does not see this ending anytime soon, even though he gave us things that we must do to correct our many mistakes. Now, the Zamfara Police Command has dismissed online reports that the abducted Jangebe school girls have been released. Spokesperson of the command, Mohammed Shehu, in a statement said the command, in collaboration with other security agencies, are intensifying efforts that would lead to the safe rescue of the girls. So that means we're still in as much trouble as we were when we heard about the abduction. So tell us what you make of all of this. 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. 0817 923 0007. Of course, WhatsApp is always 080 903 06416. The female line is 0817 923 0009. Is terrorism a business in Nigeria? Good morning.
Hello, Sam. Good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
That's Dennis.
Go ahead.
Sam, you and I learned in economics about equitable distribution of wealth.
Okay.
But it seems our politicians, I don't know where they attended their own school, they don't know this particular thing. Since they, as your guest has said, will arm themselves, then take over power, seize the wealth of the nation without equitably distributing it. They open up ways for people violently now distribute the wealth. So now start direct answer to your question. It's a big business. And anything anybody does to earn money is an economic activity. But I only pity the scrupulous people of the society. Those who have conscience and would not go into crime. They are the ones who will suffer. All over Nigeria, you see those who now go into power and their downline criminal friends are taking over everything. Already, we are in it. So I think when the great power time that I predicted that a time will come that the scrupulous people, before you sleep with your wife, you pay tax. And what we have now is they don't even ask you for the tax. They come to sleep with her whenever they want. They carry her to the bush and call it kidnapping. When they finish, they can return her to you or not. We should not keep quiet. We should not keep quiet. Colin Powell said, Nigerian leadership is a criminal venture. And they asked him to apologize. He said, apologize for what?
Thank you very much, Dr. Dennis. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Radio. Morning.
Yes, it's off. Sammy.
Yes.
Yes, there's a saying that says, what goes around comes around.
Oh, really?
Yes. Let me remind you something. You remember when our so-called Lawal, the present Senate president, during Goodluck Jonathan, climbed the House of Assembly gate, removed Abada, and climbed a locked gate in order to force themselves into the House of Assembly? Do you remember the same Deputy Senate President, presently Omo Agege, who was alleged or accused to have fled away with the National Assembly mass. Now, what does this indicate about this government, APC government? People who can do such a thing, honorable, that can mount the gates, and people that can take the mass, the symbol of the House of Assembly. So what do you expect? Why won't hoodlums apprehend people? Why won't there be issues of Boko Haram here and there? They've set the pace. They started it.
So you're saying, hold on, you're saying that the terrorists took inspiration from our lawmakers because they jumped a gate. Like that was what inspired them to literally cause the havoc they've been causing for over 10 years.
They've seen the laxity of this present government. They know the calibers of people who are there, and they cannot stop it. They can't put an end to it. Look, there's no smoke without fire, you know.
Yeah, but this fire does not connect to the smoke that you're talking about, because we have terrorist activities in countries where we have not recorded lawmakers jumping any gate. So how do you justify that?
Sammy, I don't want to use a derogatory word, but it simply tells you that these people that are in government, they are not honorable people.
Okay.
They are not decent men.
Thank you very much. Now, if you're a lawmaker listening, gospel according to my caller, please walk through the gate. If it's not open, then understand you don't have access. Else, terrorism will thrive in your country. Good morning.
Yeah, Sam, Jude Ubani.
All right, talk to me, Jude.
Sam, is there no difference between insurgents and kidnapping or banditry? For me, in Nigeria, these insurgents started way back, and the story we were told was the people who were in that business said they didn't like Western education. They did that for that reason. They don't like Western education, and they went into doing everything to destroy those who believe in Western education or believe the idea of Western education. I mean, in Nigeria, I don't know about insurgents in other countries, and I know it's a global thing now. If we say we want to end it, I don't think all we can do globally is to eradicate that. Even in the developed world, you have insurgents. So the kidnapping in Nigeria, as far as I know, may not have an end now. The end is not in sight because it has become a business where people give reason because they don't have job, they're unemployed, they're hungry. I think that's a stupid something to say. That's the reason why.
All right, thank you very much. Now, insurgency is rebellion against authority. That's what it basically translates to. So you can have this rebellion against different kinds of authorities. And for Boko Haram, they've been very clear about their agenda from the beginning. You know, it's like how your church has some motto, saving lives or helping to make heaven. They have been very clear about standing against Western education. Now, we know that they cause different kinds of havoc. But targeting of schools is a clear picture of what their mandate has always been. Now we have kidnappings, you know, bandits here and there, which may or may not be directly connected to Boko Haram. But I think, and I believe, that the laxity of security forces in our nation has led to every other thing. Header clashes, banditry, kidnapping along some stretch, which may not be connected to people who do not like school, is because the security structure in its entirety is not as effective as it should be. Yeah. I think I read that somewhere. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Samuel calling from Wood Road.
Go ahead, Sam. Is terrorism a business?
Yes, please. I think the issue we are having in this country about this banditry, insurgency, kidnapping It's just that our politicians are well informed with it. And that is why and the end is not at sight, just as that scholar said. Now, how would we end?
I'm sorry, can you get close to your phone? It's almost impossible to hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I guess.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, we just had a case where a policeman or policemen involved in kidnapping. Now, we people that should fight against kidnapping are now linked to it. We've had cases where our politicians sponsor boys during elections, and at the end of the day, those boys turn to cultists. They use the arms for kidnapping. Now, these politicians they fight for cannot even fight against those boys because they're out of control at the end of the day. So all these things is just the problem we are having in this country. Politicians are involved. They are part of the sponsors. Boko Haram, I have a friend or a cousin who is an army officer, and he serves in the north. He always tells me every day that they are willing to fight Boko Haram. But just that the politicians are not ready. They are being sponsored by politicians. So at this pace things are going, it's not easy for us to stop this unless we have politicians and leaders who are able to lead and stop this wholeheartedly. Until we get to that point, we are not in sight.
Thank you very much. Let's take some points that our guest dropped. No inch should be ceded to criminals. Make security local. Conscientize the community. Of course, people need to understand what's going on and take actions locally. Local government chairmen must stop abdicating the authority. They really should be the chief security officers. If governors, he said, can deploy force to win elections, they should be able to deploy force to secure lives and properties. Insincerity of governors, he said, is part of the major reason, and politicians are the heart of insecurity. These were some of the things that my guest said. Of course, you may or may not agree with that, but we're asking whether or not you believe at this point that terrorism has become a business in Nigeria. Good morning, Sam. Terrorism has and always will be a business venture, albeit illegal. An anonymous human dropped that on WhatsApp. How can those who say education is evil have leaders who are educated? Boko Haram is sponsored by politicians and they are making money. This should be my final call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
From Port Harcourt.
Go ahead.
The issue of Boko Haram remains a business in Nigeria. What is remaining is different registered business names to start porting out their contract list for them to be receiving their ITC for the contract of delivery. Sir, some certain northern clerics who knew the truth about this Boko Haram and their existence came up in several occasions to complain, stated categorically facts beyond descriptions. What happened? Some of them were arrested, some of them were bombed, killed with both of them with their families, some of them were intimidated, and a few kept quiet. Recently, another major hand from the northern part of Nigeria, Melapia, if I may use the name, stated another fact with insights and facts. They muzzled him to keep quiet.
All right, Mr. Zion, so what's the point you're making?
Until we tell ourselves the truth, we'll keep rolling the same virtuous circle.
Okay.
We'll be losing and losing brothers and sisters from the northern part of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. The scourge affects Nigeria, even though it happens in the north. It's a Nigerian problem. Chukwemeka Michael on Twitter says, sadly, it's these guys that set modalities, make adequate preparations, and boom, they get rewarded. This is quite an anomaly, and it's a result of a failing government that is blind, always spinning excuses to their abysmal failure in providing security. Ernest Gadget says, yes, it's a business because the government is encouraging it. We've been hearing banditry. Who has been arrested? And Paul the Spaceman simply says, yes. I have a few comments on WhatsApp. All right, I've exhausted that. Well, 3 minutes left on the clock. My next conversation is an interesting one. I cannot wait for that conversation. It is with the man who was acquitted from the Jumia saga. You remember that? Yeah, it was very big. It's one of the reasons why I was kind of scared of Port Harcourt. But anyways, I'm here now. So he's going to be telling us his story, how he was arrested for a crime he did not commit, and his life behind bars. That conversation happens in the next hour. Don't go anywhere.
You think of me when you close your eyes. Tell me, what are you dreaming? Everything I wanna know it all. I'd spend 10,000 hours and 10,000 more. Oh, if that's what it takes to learn that sweetheart of yours. And I might never get there, but I'm gonna try. If it's 10,000 hours or the rest of my life, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. Ooh, want the good and the bad, everything in between. Ooh, gotta cure my curiosity. Oh yeah, I'd spend 10,000 hours and 10,000 more. Oh, if that's what it takes to learn the sweetheart of yours. And I might never get there, but I'm gonna try. If it's 10,000 hours or the rest of my life, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. Yeah. And I to make the dance. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you.
This is the Morning Crossfire on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. It's still the Morning Crossfire 92.3 Nigeria Info. My name is Sam Oracle Chinedu. So for the next few minutes, the minutes that make up this hour, I will be having an interesting conversation with an interesting man. I'd like for us to look at what freedom means before we get there, because this man is living the dream of freedom. It is a power right to speak, I beg your pardon, act or think as one wants. And many times we tend to take this for granted. Now, a High Court in Port Harcourt, River State, has sentenced a young man to death by hanging for the murder